During my master year, as I read like a lot of things to try to find my God, there were two things caught my attention. One is the Jewish people. What's special about them? They lost their country for almost 2,000 years, but they keep their culture, they keep their history, they keep their languages, they keep their religion, and they married to close relatives, but they gave birth genius. That's against science. And from my experience, I know that a lot of people talking about how hard to keep their language and their cultures when people go from left their own country into another country. So that's a miracle. That's something human cannot do. It's a God work. Secondly, I realized that if I look back the human history, the center of the economic center and like the um how say this? Yeah, the center of the world transfer from Middle East from Egypt to Europe and to North America. And one religion or one God seem to follow the same path. It's the Jewish God. When the Jewish people worship him, that was the center of the world. And then they fail, and this God seemed to move to Europe. Most of the European worship this God. And at that time, Europe is the center of people, of human. And then it transferred to North America. That also something I don't think is a coincidence, and that's something that I think is not humans' effort. It's supernatural. It's God's behavior. But I am really a stubborn person. I rule out Christianity at that time because Jesus has the figure of a man. As I mentioned before, that I think this God is unseen God. He is the one for all humankinds. So he shouldn't be like the Eastern God has Eastern figure and the Western God has Western figure. No. But Jesus has this human figure. So that's why I think no, something's wrong here. I think maybe Jewish God is the God that I am looking for. But I don't know any Jewish people. um, I don't know Hebrew, and so I didn't read much or do much research on that part. I just keep in my mind, and I also believe that if God really wants to reveal Himself to me, He knows how, and eventually He will do that successfully in a way that I can understand, in a way that I can get it. So I probably talk to him all the time. I still telling him that I really hungrily, desperately want to know him in person, want to see him. But at the same time, I kind of more in a waiting mode. My thinking is still very active, my thoughts still active, and I try to analyze things in with this perspective. But I didn't do I don't want to do too much of human effort because if I do it that way, I kind of not sure whether it's like my imagination or my effort or my expectation other than it's God reveal himself. By that time, I apply a summer school at Stanford And so the first summer of my master year, I had a chance to go to the USA for the first time. I want to see whether it is a good place for me to get my PhD or not, whether this kind of lifestyle that I can go along with, those kind of things. So I went to the summer school. And one thing I did mention is at that time, I have an aunt, my mom's little sister, who live in California, and she and her whole family are Christians. After the summer school, I went to visit my aunt, my uncle, and their family for 2 more weeks. And they took me to the church that they attend at the time. I went in, I observed everything. When people pray over the food, when they give thanks, when they um, worship, and what they talk about. Yeah, I'll observe everything with my open eyes. I don't close my eyes, and when they pray, they say amen. I said, what's that mean? Why everybody say amen? And they told me, it means you're great. I said, okay, I won't say it because I don't, I probably don't agree. So I'm proud and stubborn. So even to then, I didn't think this Christian belief, this Jesus, is the thing I'm looking for. Um, but I do. Um, by that time, actually, I faced two major choices in life. One is about marriage. Who should I marry to? And I don't know how and why, just in my belief system, I know there's only one person that God meant for me. He created that man for me, and even before the foundation of the world, He knows who that man is. And I told God, I said, okay, then you tell me. And over the years, I know, although I don't know you, I don't see you, but I know you have a way to make me understand your guidance. So when that man show up, of course you have ways to tell me and to make sure that I marry the right person. So I've only one um, criteria or one thing I ask for that man is I only marry to the man that you want me to marry, the man that you ordained before the foundation of the world, the man that you created for me. And that's it. And I don't need other things, whether he's high or he's tall or short or rich or poor or whatever. Yeah, I don't care. I just want to marry the one that you want me to marry because I love you and I know that you know everything. You never done anything to harm me, and you know what's the best for me. And I don't know. So that's one thing I pray for. And another thing is, after I graduate from master, I don't know whether I should stay in China, find a job, or I should pursue my PhD and go to the US. So another thing that I ask God is if you want me to go to the US, then just give me one offer. Yes, apply for 10, but just give me one offer. I don't need to be compared with anybody or to brag about it. I only need one option. So I know that is the one you chose for me and I will go. And if you don't want me to go, you want me to stay in China and go to work, find a job, then please shut down all the doors and I will stay in China. And that's a deal we made. Guess what? I did only have one offer and I went to that school. That was the Colorado School of Mines.